This morning with Joe Connell, the founder and CEO of NeuEsse. And NeuEsse is an applied skin covering healing therapy. Joe, I don't think I've captured it properly, but I know you'll clean it up for me. So tell us about NeuEsse.
Perhaps those aren't the words I would use, but
right.
NeuEsse is a company commercializing a human skin substitute made from soy protein. And what we do is take pure protein out of soybeans, food grade soybeans, and we electrospin sheets of skin that go into a wound and become a part of your body, as opposed to any other bandage which keeps moisture in and bacteria out. Our patches go into the wound, gives the body a scaffold on which to rebuild itself. And the results from healing are superior to everything that we've tested so far.
So Joe, how in the world did you get into dealing with skin?
Well, I have been contacted from Philadelphia inventors probably 12 years ago. And I've teamed up with the same inventor and have built two companies, both startups, from technology derived from Philadelphia.
But I think this is actually more personal to you, is it not? I mean, this repair and replacement of skin has a personal aspect to your story.
Well, what motivated me was one case study of a 10-year-old male, and he was burned over 30% of his body, and his right leg was burned to the bone, and he was not supposed to walk again. And in order to build that leg back, the Rural Hospital in Pennsylvania took 360 deep cores of skin from the top of his thigh to rebuild that leg. And that caused 360 new scars, 360 new wounds, a lot of pain. And we have a second generation of our skin, which is a liquid skin and sprayable at the patient's bedside without touching it. And if our liquid omega skin were available now, we possibly could have prevented a lot of damage to that patient. And it hits home because that patient was me, and I wasn't supposed to walk again. And I guess the people with more money were sent to Pittsburgh to have long sheets of skin taken off of their leg. But I had 360 deep cores removed, and I'm adamant, I'm passionate, and dedicated to preventing that as often as possible.
And Joe, your work didn't start in the life sciences sector with this effort. Can you say a little bit more about how your path has taken you here?
Well, again, it's Philadelphia related, but I was co-founder of a company called Equalix, and we licensed this skin from Drexel University with the same inventor, Dr. Peter Lelkish. And we took it through, and we had research and published results with that skin. The two rate limiting factors of that skin were that it called for a caustic solvent to manufacture, which rate limiting, and manufacturers walked away from us. And we got a patent which was US only, and the claims were narrow. Now the same inventor, Peter Lelkish, has transferred to Temple, has improved it in several areas. It's now water soluble, so manufactured quite easily in any environment with electrospinning. And we have a global patent, and we picked up a couple things. We picked up a portable blow spinner so that we can spray skin onto the patient. And that's what we will be developing after FDA approval for the readily available sheets. And we picked up a 3D robotic printer for non-flat skin. And the applications of that remain to be seen, because that's probably the most forward-looking statement I could make. We're not going to tackle that until we get the skin, the liquid skin, and revitalize that portable blow spinner. Right now, I think it looks like a science project. It needs to be more robust, because we intend to have one in the hands of every paramedic in the military, treating our warfighters in very austere conditions. And I think its applicability there is really going to be a milestone for us.
So in addition to Peter, tell us a little bit more about your team today.
Well, they're also Philadelphia centric, but I'm Pittsburgh based. So we are a Pennsylvania Turnpike company. Peter Lokish is the inventor and has worked with us. And I've been in pharmaceuticals and life sciences for 36 years, and I have an ungodly stack of business cards, and was looking through my Rolodex because I have the science, the business, and most aspects down, but I needed some help with the things I'm really not good at, like finance and forms and things like that I hate to do. And out of this huge stack of cards, one physically, literally fell out of the stack onto the floor, and I picked it up. And that's my partner. My partner is Bruce Mullen, is a lifelong resident of Philadelphia, nowhere but Philadelphia. And we have worked together in the past with a Canadian-based company. And I called him and I said, Bruce, I'm building 2 companies. Would you like to be involved? And he said, I can't believe he said it, but he said, I can't see why I wouldn't. So I convinced him, coerced him, and cajoled him into being my partner. And that's who I work with. And we just don't mention things like Steelers versus Eagles, and we get along very well.
That's terrific. So as you look ahead, what are the key milestones that you need to achieve, and where are you in your financing? How do we get your products to market? What are the next steps, Joe?
Well, we've got a lot of animal data, and we have proven and published full thickness wounds healing with intact hair follicles and sweat glands and minimal to no scarring. And that's in the public literature. And it excited us to the point of going head to head with a known competitor. And those results were quite compelling, that in 3 days, our epithelium, our skin cells were lined up. We went against Oasis. So let's open the kimono here. We went against Smith & Nephew's product, and in 3 days, our epithelium was lined up. And in 7 days, we saw the appendages of hair follicles and sweat glands. And in 7 days also, that wound bed was filled with reproduced collagen. And so there's some regenerative nature to the product. We have filed for a pre-submission meeting with the FDA. We are addressing some of their concerns. Some of their concerns naturally are about soy, but most of the questions are emanating from ingested soy and not a soy protein bandage. So we are working on FDA approval right now because the readily available sheets call for no refrigeration, no handling issues, no prep time. It's readily available, lightweight, can be put onto first responders, war fighters, medics. So we're waiting for FDA approval. Our second project will be to make the portable blow spinner more robust. And that patented portable blow spinner has been utilized to not only spray our liquid skin, but we've done chitosan, hyaluronic acid. So my future vision is to have a portable blow spinner in every exam room for dermatologists, as well as wound clinics and paramedics in the military. So, so the natural progression is to get Omega Skin approved, the portable blow spinner revitalized, liquid skin onto the market, and we have a second generation skin which we haven't started research on yet, and that is a porous gradient skin, so it will allow greater cell infiltration and regeneration than the first generation skin. As far as financing, we are in the middle of a seed round, and we're looking for $1 million. We know the good and bad of looking for $1 million. If I don't want $10 million, people don't think we have anything. We really do. We project $125 million in sales at the end of year 5 without any projection for government, military, or DOD, which we think it's a natural placement of this skin into the DOD. And they need us, but we need them a whole lot more than they do need us. So it's going to call for some business development. So we need to raise some money. We're looking for angels, or a strategic vertical would make a lot of sense. We are going to bring this onto the market, and we will, in my mind, be disruptive, and we will look to displace a lot of skin replacements. And if you look at the skin replacement market, it's very crowded. There's a lot of products, but they're all from pigs, cows, and cadavers. And a natural plant-based skin substitute with greater efficacy, I think has a great place to replace porcine and bovine and cadaverous sources for religious, cultural, and other beliefs. This is more acceptable than the other products. And so we find the other products unavailable, unaffordable, and unacceptable. The affordability, no one can decellularize animal or cadaver tissue less expensive than we can spin soy protein. So it's an order of magnitude less expensive to produce with greater efficacy. And last but not least is the appearance of the patients that we're going to treat. If you think of a scar, a large wound has one thing to do, and that's close. So closure is the measurement of wound healing. And if a large or chronic wound struggles and struggles for closure, that resultant wound will be a thick, slick scar. And we've already published minimal to no scarring in our full thickness published studies. So we think we have something. We need some money to prove we have something. And we don't want a lot of money because we don't want to raise more money than we need, which is a bizarre concept, I know.
Well, Joe, sounds like ambitious plans, but with a great future ahead. And we know that you and Bruce are going to get it there, and look forward to following up with you as the opportunities expand, as you get funded, as you get the product out in, as you suggest, every dermatological office and also into the military. It sounds transformative, and we're excited to watch what happens. Thank you.
Well, Joe, if you could think of our second product, sprayable skin, if you could think of a nursing home patient with bed sores that you roll over and spray a new layer of skin on and put them back into their bed comfortably without transportation to the emergency room, without disruption of their routine. As my father is presently in a nursing home, which is why I'm back in Connellsville, Pennsylvania living instead of oceanfront Wilmington, where I came from. So if you can think of transportation, comfort, and applicability of liquid spray skin for burn victims, for nursing home patients, and our veterans in the VA hospitals, we think we have something, and we really appreciate you allowing us this time to talk about it.
That's great. Joe, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.